if you want to up your game in fasting, consider getting rid of or lessening your dependence on beverages throughout the day. Now, haven't I always said that it's a good idea when you're learning to break away from eating to start relying on your beverages? Well, of course, the next 2 to 3 months, from when you start fasting to 2 or 3 months later, you want your body to rely on the beverages, the no-cal or low-cal beverages, so that you're not getting an insulin reaction and upping your insulin levels, like when you're eating, when you used to eat multiple meals a day and invariably gained weight. But there comes a point at which it's time to up your game. So if you're ready for that time now, consider doing this. Consider, after your meal, drinking a beverage only when you are thirsty, only when you are irritable, or even if you're ready to go to the next level, just have a day where you say, I'm going to only go to water. This is kind of a serious deal, because here's what you're going to find. You're going to find that a lot of people that get involved with fasting, they start upping their dependence on stimulants, and they start regularly relying on caffeine throughout the day. I have mentioned before, I have a cousin, he has to have 7 to 10 cups of coffee a day, or he starts having reactions, withdrawal reactions. That's not right, because when you bring in excessive stimulants, you overtax your heart. When you overtax your heart, you produce cortisol. When you produce cortisol, you slow, at least to some degree, your weight loss results. You don't want to go down that road if you can help it, not only for that reason, though, but also because you want to come to the real you. The real you is when you get up in the morning. Your mind is clear. Maybe you're the type like me who likes to check and reply to emails sometimes in the morning, in addition to getting ready for work. Maybe you're the type who likes to go for a run or do some sort of exercise. There's not a right or wrong about it. But that moment, to me, I realized, as a self-reflector, I realized that my own knowledge my decision-making is most clear in the morning. We had an alcoholic family member years ago who is now long gone, but we used to stay at his place for a while. He had a big ranch, and we would go out there, and my brother and I, before my sister was born, used to spend nights. And he would invariably start drinking. He would be drinking throughout the day, and everybody hated him because they knew he was so self-destructive with his drinking. Well, in the mornings, though, he was as nice and pleasant a person as you could be, because he hadn't been pounding down the cans of beer like he would do, and then he'd get to the end of the day, he would have polished off several six-packs, and he would be a different person. And alcohol affected him, made him meaner, made him less patient, made him more aggressive. And so, but in the mornings, he was different. His speech wasn't slurred, it was clear. His decision-making, his willingness to accommodate requests. You guys want me to make you some breakfast? Do you want me to? It was so different. You need to go back to baseline. Being that you are reclaiming your health and your life, try, when you become stable enough and you start to say, hey, I got this. This is easy. I really got a hold of this. Go back to baseline and do the next level. Maybe today or tomorrow, after you've watched this, you're going to say, I'm only going to have water today, and I'm only going to drink when I'm thirsty. I'm not just going to keep the bottle with me and always be sipping. There's nothing wrong with that, but again, this is the next level. This is going to another state of mind. Or maybe you're going to say, I'm just going to have water only, but I am going to have 1 cup of dandelion tea, and I'm going to do it at the point where I most want a different taste. You'll find that if you divide your day up and you keep busy and you keep active, those are your best days. Now remember, here's the one big key indicator of how you know you have moved into fat adaptation. It's if time goes by quicker when you are not eating because you're not hungry. So think about the days you've had the hardest time resisting your urge to eat. Those were from the beginning. And if you have not done OMAD successfully, if you've not done it faithfully, then those days kept going because you cheated, and then you would keep starting over, and then you made yourself annoyed again because your body would start expecting sugar. So it wouldn't become fat adapted. It would only partially become fat adapted. And you would do things that make the fast harder, or you would eat too much during the fast. You would absolutely stuff yourself, and then you'd become ravenous at the next meal, and you realize there was a cycle there, but you didn't correct it. That, by the way, is why a tiny OMAD meal is much better than a larger OMAD meal. Some of you get the impression that all I do is eat little meals or eat one little tiny fasting meal. That's not true. I definitely eat a lot, and it's easier on some days to just forage all day and eat all day and then start the next day with a fast. It depends on my activity level, which I've explained before. But with regard to your beverages, it's the same principle. The bear is not even thirsty when he's fasting because he's fat adapted. The more fat adapted you are, you don't even really want that many beverages. You might want some, but you're not going to have that ravenous desire to get your mind constantly off of the fast. That's where you're going to find the big difference. It's because you've become fat adapted. You are now able and strong and willing to say, I am my source of energy, which translates to I am in control. So the next time you go about your day, try to move toward, I'm going to drink or only when I'm thirsty. And then the rest of the day, I'm going to be involved in something. You're going to find that it's going to shift your energy in a pretty big way. And if you can do it successfully, if you can schedule appropriately, you will find that your fasting quality will be better because you will not be so torn. You will not be so looking to cover up. Because anytime you're looking to cover up, whether it's with a beverage or anything else, your level of satisfaction is only going to be so good. You can't put a Band-Aid on something and feel really good. You might put a Band-Aid on a thumbnail and a hangnail, and it might not bother you for a while, but it's still never better than not having a hangnail. So don't cover up anything. Use the fast as a point of reaching your spiritual zen, your high point at which you can view the world just like you do in the morning when your mind is sharp and clear and you're not adulterated with all of the influences throughout the day, the goals, the angering emails you might get, or the drama that a family member calls you with and says, oh no, here's what happened. Oh my goodness, look what I have to deal with now. All of those are distractions, just like most of the consumerist mentality, or all of it just about, is continually around us, including food, including commercialism of different sorts, the desire to get you to spend money. Take a step back from that and try to make sure every sip of, be it water or coffee or tea or whatever, is something that you truly appreciate and that serves a purpose.